I never comprehended these words. I figured he talked about death or about the improvement of oneself. But now, I consider an alternative. He actually knew something the rest of us didn't. My love for the philosophies of life, which I've studied over my epigrammatic college career, led me to a new conclusion. Socrates must have known about vampires. Philosophy had very little to do with my day-to-day life. I tried to apply my philosophical beliefs, become a better human, and understand my place and purpose in life, but a painful reality still existed. My nagging paranoia. Pretty early on, my allergies became a problem. My overprotective mother self-diagnosed every ailment and brought with her a fear that I may die from everything. My father, who always wanted me to be the next star quarterback, viewed my bubble life as a dismal disappointment. But all my allergy shots, hypochondria, and Benadryl couldn't excuse one thing: my basic failure at being human. Throughout the years and the countless doctors, I learned to face my phobias and manage my allergies. I discovered spinach and vitamins and Socrates. I joined a few organizations and read my fair share of pamphlets. But, as prepared as I was to face my personal downfalls, I was not prepared for this. I remember very specifically the event that altered my perception of the world I knew. The day before was much like all the other afternoons that ran together, taking for granted the seemingly dull activities that filled my time on my day off. I remember watching mind-numbing sports, going down to the fresh market, and stopping by the corner drugstore to pick up a few general prescriptions. Prednisone, naproxen for the headaches, clonazepam, Pamelor, which I switched to after using Zoloft, a replacement EpiPen, stupid Chinese restaurant, and a new antibiotic, which I hoped would not counteract any of the others. Just a few drugs. This was a good week. Dr. Heckenleibel didn't like me very much, and I couldn't blame him. I think he gave me the drugs in part to keep me out of his hair. However, Dr. Young, my therapist, thought exercise might help combat the depression and solve some of my anxiety issues. I must state that I always knew running outside was a bad idea. Prescribed exercise didn't sound very healthy either, and the thought of going to a gym sounded close to hell. My lack of knowledge regarding anything gym equipment related, not to mention my scrawny body, are just a few of the reasons for my hesitation. Personally, though, I blame my father and his high hopes for me to carry on the football tradition. I couldn't enter that world without thinking of his disappointment. But within the lines of healthy thinking, I decided to start recreational running. I popped a few pills into my mouth and swirled them around with Mountain Dew before setting off on my first attempt at a morning jog. I stuffed my inhaler in my pocket just in case. I haven't had an asthma attack since I moved to the city, but felt better feeling it jiggle around in my shorts. I plugged my headphones into my old iPod, turning on some post-rock. Post-rock, good for the soul. Hoping it might make me feel better about my insane decision to get out of bed in the first place. Dr. Heck had advised me to go running early in the morning, before the sun warmed everything. The sun peaked early in New York, but it had not yet pierced through the thick trees of Central Park, still hovering near the horizon. I lived down 66th, close to the Hunter College campus, and one of the best locations in New York City if I wanted to run in the park, I've heard. The cool air helped me to go further. Everyone hates the first mile, right? I headed toward my favorite grove of trees, a shady patch close to the East Meadow, perfect for deep contemplations after a long lecture. All of a sudden, from out of nowhere, a force hit the left side of my body, sending me to the ground. I staggered back to my feet, confused and searching for what hit me. I checked my side, a little scrape on my elbow, but nothing I couldn't shake off. I know I'm a grown man, but I must admit I was a little freaked out. My first time running in Central Park, and I get mugged? Seriously? My eyes searched the darkness for something, anything in the shadows. I should be alone, but something moved between the trees. I couldn't believe what I spotted.